In this video, I'm going to share with you the exact skills that I've used to build a multi six figure life coaching business so that you can too. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the skills and mindset practices that I use every day to build a six-figure coaching business so I can share these with you and you can start putting them into practice right away too. Okay, so in the video, what you're going to learn today is, like I said, the exact skills that I use to help me build a multi six figure coaching business, how to use your intuition and your spirit team to run your coaching business, the number one formula to create your millionaire mindset or your six figure mindset, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about how long it can take to create lasting success for your business and the most important decision to make that will let your business get to six figures the fastest, and how you can get started training as a professional life coach today. Okay. Hi, guys. I am Krista. Before becoming a life coach, I was a labor and delivery nurse of 5 years, and I knew that that was not my higher purpose and calling in life, but I went to school for that because it's what my parents told me to do. And so I didn't know how to create a life yet on my own terms. So that was my first career before becoming a life coach. And then I'm so grateful that coaching found me. And I worked with my first life coach for a year and knew that this was my calling in life. And so now I've been a professional coach of 9 years. I think it's the best career choice in the world. I wish I would have started sooner. I started training to become a coach when I was 30 years old. It was the best decision I've ever made. I am currently in the process of becoming a master certified coach with the International Coaching Federation. So, this is the highest coaching credential that you can achieve in the world. I am a member of the St. Louis ICF charter chapter. So ICF stands for International Coaching Federation. A couple of years ago, I self-published my first book, Beyond the White Picket Fence. So I hope you guys decide to read it. It's on Amazon. It's all about my journey into accidentally finding the life coaching world and leaving my former life behind and becoming a full-time coach. I've led 10 retreats now, and I am a level 3 Reiki master and teacher, a certified hypnotherapist, a yoga and meditation instructor of 20 years. I love combining my Reiki skills, my hypnotherapist skills, and my yoga and meditation into my retreats and my coaching sessions with clients. I've lived abroad for 2 years. I traveled to over 50 countries while I was getting my life coaching business up and running. And then in 2020, right when the pandemic hit, I had a home birth, and now I am mom to Lincoln. He is a 4.5-year-old little spiritual boy that hopefully, I hope someday he grows up to be a leader, an entrepreneur, a coach as well. But whatever path he chooses will be great. So, kind of like what I was sharing earlier, here's a picture of me exhausted and burnt out in the hospital where I was working in Seattle, Washington at the time. I was also a very unhappy military wife. And I had on the outside, I had this perfect picket fence, white picket fence life where we had 2 cars, we had 2 dogs, we had a nice house, I had a good paying job, I had a husband. But, on the inside, I was struggling, I was miserable, I was unhappy, and that was really confusing to be in that place because I felt like, "Oh, I should be grateful. I should be happy for this life, but I feel like there's something more out there that's calling to me." And I have a feeling if a lot of you are watching this, you might be in a similar position. And so I kept getting these internal messages from the universe. I didn't know what was happening at the time. It was very scary and overwhelming, but I kept like getting these messages of like, this is not the life you're meant to live. You need to go a different path. But I didn't know how to honor that and answer that at the time. So I kept resisting and I kept ignoring the messages. And when we do that, when the universe is trying to get us on the right path and we resist it and avoid it, then that's when the 2 by 4 happens. And what ended up happening was in February of 2016, all in the same week, my husband and I started filing divorce papers, and I got fired from my nursing job. And I always say it was the worst thing that ever happened to me, and it was also the best thing that ever happened to me. It was definitely a gift from the universe, but I just wish I could have, left on my own terms. But it happened, I guess, the way it was meant to happen. And now I'm so grateful that I'm living the life that's so much more authentic to me. So after that happened, luckily I was working with a life coach at the time. And she was like, okay, Krista, well, you have this beautiful new life ahead of you that's waiting for you. What do you want to do next? And someone asking me that was so scary and empowering at the same time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell all my stuff and I'm going to go travel around the world and have an eat, pray, love adventure and figure out what's next for me. And what ended up happening during that time is I decided that I also wanted to become a life coach because I love the work so much that my own coach was doing with me. And I saw how rapidly my life was changing. And then randomly, people started reaching out to me and asking me to be their life coach. And I took that as a sign from the universe, like, okay, this is the path and the direction the universe wants me to go. So for 2 years, I traveled around the world and every month moved to a new country. And as long as I had my laptop and Wi-Fi, I started building my business and started working with coaching clients, and it was amazing. But at the same time, I was also starting to get really stuck and lost, and was like, am I saying the right things? I feel like my clients aren't really getting like that great of results, and I don't know if I'm structuring my coaching sessions properly, and I just was like, I had more questions than answers, and I wasn't feeling confident in my skill set. And so that's when I remember I was in Scotland at the time, and I got down on my hands and my knees and I prayed, and I said, Universe, if you want me to keep going in this direction of becoming a full time life coach, send me a sign of what action I should take next because I just feel like I'm missing something here. And then the next day, this woman reached out to me on Facebook that was a life coach and also a coach trainer. And I took that as the sign and I felt called to meet up with her. So we did a Zoom call and she started telling me all about the International Coaching Federation and ICF accredited coach training programs. And that, if you want to be a really successful coach, getting properly educated and trained as a coach was the way to go. And so I knew that that was my next step. So I signed up, I think a month or two later, and went through a 6 month online level 1 coach training program. And I knew that I was on the right path then and was finally getting the confidence to get the skills and education that I needed to be able to run my coaching business full time and give my clients the best results and the best experience possible in the most ethical way possible. So now, my life as a full time life coach and coach trainer, as I work from home full time, I love working from home. It's the best, especially if you're a sensitive introvert like myself. Like I said in my bio, I run retreats twice a year for my life coaching students. I founded the Born to Coach Training Academy in 2021. So now I focus mostly on certifying and training life coaches and helping them to get their ICF credentials. And I love what I do. I still have a couple of one-on-one coaching clients that I work with on the side as well too. And I just haven't looked back ever since. And I want to do this for the rest of my life. I wake up every day feeling so fulfilled and happy, knowing that I get to help change other people's lives through my coaching skills and my coaching sessions, and that I get paid to do this work. And it's just it's such a rewarding and fulfilling feeling. So that's why I want to help other coaches who feel that this is their calling in life to help them do the same thing. Let's go ahead and talk about the skills that I use every day that helped me get my coaching business to that six-figure mark. So I'm not going to go into a lot of strategy today. If you decide that you want to join us in the Born to Coach Training Academy, we go a lot deeper into the strategy with building your business. But we'll talk about this. The most important part is your mindset. So the way you think and your intuition and your spirituality and everything, that is going to make such a huge impact on the decisions that you make for your business and the strategies that you use. So let's go ahead and start there. So the first skill set that is absolutely essential, and I'm so grateful for my first life coach teaching me about, is your intuition. And your intuition is the best tool that you'll own and you'll use every day to run your business. And so, intuition, the definition of that is the ability to understand or know something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning. So for me, this might be different for you guys, but for me, I know that when my intuition is speaking to me is when I get things like goosebumps or chills. I get this gut feeling. Sometimes I can see visions in my mind's eye, or I start to hear messages, kind of like as a nurse, I was hearing those messages of like, you need to quit. Nursing is not your passion or is not your higher purpose in life. A lot of times I'll get tears or emotions that will start to come through when my spirit guides are trying to communicate something with me. And then I always like to teach my coach training students too, is that we all have our higher self. We all have this version of ourself that has already accomplished and achieved everything that we want to have in life. And we can constantly be talking to that version of ourselves and getting in business advice and wisdom from that version of ourselves. So I'll frequently take my students through a higher self visualization and meditation. And anytime they need any business guidance or advice, they just have a conversation with their higher self to get that. And I think that's the best place to run your business from. The smartest way to run your business from, the quickest way to get to six figures is really learning how to work into your intuition, because it will tell you everything that you need to know. And so the question I always like to ask, and I'm going to ask you guys, and you can answer in the comments below, is what is your intuition trying to tell you right now? Okay. So you can go ahead and answer below the video. I'd love to hear what your intuition is trying to tell you right now, and you can practice listening to your intuition right now. So skill set number two is spirituality. I can't imagine running my life and my business without my spiritual practices. Spirituality is a big part of how we run and train the students inside the Born to Coach Training Academy. And so the definition of spirituality is a sense of connection to something greater than yourself. It doesn't matter what you want to call, your higher power, if it's a source, if it's God, the universe. It's just something that you believe outside of you that has designed you and is created you and is constantly leading you and talking to you. And so all of us have access to our chief spiritual officer and team of spiritual advisors that every day they're trying to help us, they're trying to guide us, they're trying to give us messages on the best path to take, on the next best step to take in our business to help us to create the most abundant and wealthiest life, so we can live this enriched life for ourselves and help others to do the same. And like a perfect example of this is when I was traveling around the world and I was living in Costa Rica, and I kept getting these messages of, you need to start a YouTube channel. You need to start a YouTube channel. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do that. That's so scary. I'm gonna have to put myself out there. I don't know who's gonna watch these videos. I don't even know how to create content. And the messages would not go away. And so I was like, okay, well, there must be something here. I'm just going to try it. And I started consistently making YouTube videos every week. And then there were some other strategies that I put in place from there. And then before I knew it, that was the number one way that all my clients at the time, and then once I started a coach training program, my students started finding me. And so I realized, oh my gosh, this was my spirit team literally giving me the business advice that I needed to set me up for the most success here. So oftentimes we look to things out, we look for answers outside of us. We go to these business trainings and we hire mentors and coaches, and which I think is great, but then we ignore the messages that we're getting inside and we try to like listen to everything that everyone else is telling us. And then that's when it gets really hard and really difficult to run a business and we don't make money from that place. So your intuition, your spirituality, such important skills to use on a daily basis. And so different ways that you can tap in to your spiritual practices is through meditation, prayer, through journaling, yoga, hiking, traveling, plant medicine ceremonies. So I know, maybe you're already doing some of these, or with time, you will start to put these into practice, and this will help you run a six-figure coaching business from a much more connected, trusted place of ease. And it'll get really good. So my question for you is, how do you best receive messages from your spiritual team? Okay. Let me know below the video. I want to hear. All right. Skill set number 3 is becoming money conscious. So this is one of my most favorite books. I read this book every morning. Not the whole book, but I read sections from the book every morning. Secrets of the Millionaire Mindset by T. Harv Eker. And right, so he has this quote in there and he says, or no, sorry, this quote isn't from him, but so consciousness is observing your thoughts and actions so that you can live from true choice in the present moment rather than, oh, there's a typo there, rather than being run by programming from the past. So the way we were raised around success and money is going to influence everything moving forward with how we make money and how we run our business. And so it's good to be aware and conscious of those thoughts that are going to be driving the decisions we make every day for our business. And so T. Harv Eker shares this formula in the book. And I've also heard this from the Life Coach School and other places as well. So he didn't come up with this, but I love this formula, TFAR. So it's thoughts plus feelings plus actions equals results. So you want to be conscious of your thoughts, especially when it comes to money. So if you're thinking about, like, what should I charge for my coaching services? And then if you have the thought of, well, I don't think people will find coaching valuable, and I don't think people will be able to afford my coaching. So I'm only going to charge like $25 a session. Um, right. We want to challenge that. We want to get curious and challenge that and see, like, why do I feel like that? And where is that thought coming from? And is that thought coming from my higher self? Is that thought coming from my shadow self? Just feeling, just start to get curious about those kind of things. So to give you guys an example from my own personal life is I am getting ready to create a 12-month mastermind for my coach training students who want to keep working with me after they graduate from the Born Coach Training Academy. And I keep having this feeling coming up of, I feel like people aren't going to want to invest more money to work with me after going through coach training. Well, if I let that feeling drive, run the show here, then the action is, well, I'm not going to create a 12-month mastermind from that place. Like, if I think people aren't going to invest, then as a result, right, I'm not gonna put my time and effort into creating that program versus like if I start to tell myself, yeah, there's people out there who are gonna wanna continue to work with me and are gonna want a program and an opportunity to work with me on a deeper level. So if I have that thought, then the result is I'm gonna start putting my time and attention into creating a program. You want to remember that if we want different results in life, the first place we need to start is by changing our thoughts. So, and I love this question from his book. What did you hear, see, and experience when you were younger about success and money? Right? Because that is going to impact and influence the way of you getting to make six figures in your coaching business. And if you feel like you can't make money from doing something that you love, or if it's bad to charge people for your services, well, then guess what? It's going to be really hard and difficult and maybe near impossible to make six figures in your coaching business. Okay, the next skill set is patience. Patience, patience, patience. This is a hard one. So most small businesses take at least 2 to 3 years to start to be profitable and see money come in. And then truly successful businesses, um, it takes about 7 to 10 years to get to a place where they feel like, right, they're in a good flow and they've got good systems and processes in place. And I am 9 years into running my business, and I am like definitely at this pace now where I'm like, okay, I know that I'm going to hit a certain amount of income every month. I know that I don't ever have to work for someone again. And it's just it took a while to get there. And I think we need to normalize that more and stop trying to make people think that, oh, like overnight you can hit six figures or over, like if you do one training after one weekend training, then you can just quit your job and then run your full-time business. Like this is, I always say you're learning two new skill sets at the same time. You are learning how to become a coach and you're learning how to start a business. I didn't know how to do either when I was a nurse. So these are two new skill sets, and skill sets take time to learn. So we need to be gentle and patient with ourselves and know that this is a long game that we're doing here. This is not a sprint, this is a marathon. But if you really lean into and enjoy the journey, then you can be learning and making money and helping people at the same time. I my first year running my coaching business, I think I made around like $12,000. And then the second year I doubled that. And then the third year is when I made $50,000 around that. And that's what replaced my nursing income. That's what I was making as a nurse. So again, up here, it takes 2 to 3 years to become profitable. And so that's why I always think it's a good idea to have some savings and to also be having some additional sources of income while you start to work and build on your coaching business. And you can get to a place of doing it part time or full time. But again, you need to have patience while you're learning something new. And I love this quote. My dad is a very successful businessman himself. And he said this, and I think it's true. If you do the right things for long enough, you'll start to see results. So I love that. And he's such a brilliant and smart businessman. And then I learned this from a past mentor too, is that any new strategy that you put into place, you can't like try something once. Like you can't just do one Facebook post and then be like, oh my gosh, no one commented on it, no one liked it, no one reached out to book a discovery call, or no one reached out to inquire about my offer. What I'm doing is not working. Like we've got to get rid of that type of mindset and that type of thinking. That's not going to work. So anytime you start putting any new business strategy in place, you want to give it at least 3 months to start taking off and working before you start to evaluate, is this working or not? Do I need to tweak it? And also too, I learned this from Stacey Bayman, is it takes time to learn how to effectively sell your coaching programs. And I've been selling, the Born to Coach Training Academy over and over again every single week for the past 4 years now, and I'm still learning the best way to talk about it and um, the pain points and the desires that my niche needs to hear. And so yeah, it takes time to learn how to sell your programs and how to talk about them. Okay. And then skill set number five is you're going to learn how to be your own boss and your CEO. So this was a weird feeling for me of going from being a nurse of people were constantly telling me what to do. I had hospital policies to abide by. I had charge nurses to listen to and doctors. And then when you run your own business, you're in charge. No one's telling you what to do. So you have to learn how to start creating your own deadlines, assigning yourself tasks and roles. There's a lot of self discipline there. Start to create a team that can help and support you. You're going to start delegating and outsourcing jobs because you'll find that after a while you can't do it all and you want to stay in your zone of genius. You can start to give yourself vacation hours, which that's fun to do. And sometimes that's hard for people to do. It can be hard to step away from your business for a little bit. You need to start making decisions on what best investments to put in place to grow your business. And yes, you will need to be making investments. And then just what CEOs do is we start to look at the bigger picture of things of what's going to really effectively grow our business and get it if we have a goal of six figures what so I like these questions down here like what investments do you need to make to start to grow your business and get it to that six figures? Who do you need to hire to get the job done? What do you need to outsource so you can stay your zone of genius? I just hired my coach for another year because I have a goal to make $1 million in revenue this year. And I was like, I know I'm not going to get there on my own. I've never done this before. I'm going to need accountability, motivation, support. I need, also like who do you need to hire to get the job done? I also want to lean more into understanding how to make investments in my stocks and my ETFs for my retirement fund. So I'm hiring a financial coach for that as well too. So just got to think like if you want to get to the top and you want to be successful, you're going to have people on your team that can support you and hire you. And it's just really important to start to think this way to help you to get to that six figure mark. Okay, and the last skill set is focus. Focus, focus, focus. So I love these two quotes. What you focus on grows, and what you think about expands, and what you dwell upon determines your destiny. And where your attention goes, your time. Where your attention goes, your time goes. So what I found is that a lot of times we can be while we're trying to figure things out and figure out, do I really want to be a life coach or do I really want to run my life coaching business full time? We can have one foot in the door, one foot out the other, and we're kind of like trying all these other things. I was in that phase for a while where I was like sort of running my life coaching business, and then I was also working for someone else and taking on some side contractor jobs. And because I was too scared to run my business full time and I didn't fully believe in myself and believe in it yet. And I just got to this point where I was like, this is not working anymore. I feel like if I'm going to do this, I really need to do this. I need to put 2 feet in the door and like fully commit to this. And every time I've done that in my life, where I've really like gotten that determined focus and put all my eggs in one basket, like that's when shit starts to get good. That's when things start to take off, things get aligned. And then it was the same thing prior to starting the Born to Coach Training Academy. I was running all these other little like side coaching programs and like I was making money and I was, helping people to get good results in them. But I was just like, I feel like I really need to focus on just one core offering that I'm really excited, I'm really lit up about, and that this offering is what's going to help me to hit my income goals. And so that's when I put everything else aside and I was like, I'm going to focus on just learning how to run, the Born to Coach Training Academy, my 12-month coach training program. And I'm going to put everything else aside and I'm going to make sure that I set this up in a way where it can help me to start to earn six figures. And I sat down and I did the math and I calculated out how many people do I need to enroll at what price to be able to hit six figures. And then that was my first year that I hit six figures. So what question I want to ask you guys is what other ideas can you put aside right now so you can focus on just growing one offer at a time? And if you don't know how to put together a coaching offer or what should go into a coaching offer, we teach all that to you inside the Born to Coach Training Academy. So yeah, you can have this really amazing offer that bundles all of your certifications, your trainings, your expertise, your coaching, and then we'll help you to price it in a way that will help you to get to that six-figure mark or whatever your income goal is. And then really teach you how to focus on talking about that and selling that each week till you're successfully selling out all those spots. Okay, so here's a quick recap of what we talked about today is learning how to tap into your intuition and creating spiritual practices that is going to help you to run a really successful coaching business. It's time to start being conscious around your thoughts around money and success and how that could be maybe blocking you from creating the income you want through your coaching business. We talked about the importance of you have to have patience when starting a new business, and it can take 2 to 3 years to be profitable and 7 to 10 years to really hit the success mark that you want to see. We also talked about it's time to start being your own boss and CEO and thinking on that level and learning how to really understand that you're working for yourself now and you're giving yourself your own directions and tasks now moving forward and the investments that you need to make, the team that you need to put in place. And then also the power of focusing all your efforts on one program and really getting good at filling up that program, selling out that program before you focus on anything else. So, like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to share with you and talk a little bit more about if you really feel that life coaching is a part of your higher mission and calling in this life, then I would love to invite you to join us inside the Born to Coach Training Academy today. Okay, so I founded the Born to Coach Training Academy in October of 2021. And our mission is to empower you to live a life that's unapologetically yours so you can coach others to do the same. And this is a picture of my first graduating class. Our class sizes are more small and intimate than other coach training programs because I really like to get to know my students and spend time personally training with them. And it becomes your coaching family, and these are going to become your friends for the rest of your life. Like I graduated from coach training back in 2017, and I still am close with all of the peers that I went through with coach training. We've now had students from 7 different countries. We've graduated 36 students. We currently have around, I think, like 22 students enrolled at this time. So that number will double soon. We have 4 of our students that went on to get their ICF credentials, and we're going to have a lot more. Just takes some time to build up your coaching hours, but that's our goal, is for any coach who wants to have their ICF credentials to be able to help them to achieve that. We've awarded 4 full ride scholarships so far, and then donated over $20,000 to kiva.org, so that way we can help fund. We fund a lot of women and single parents all over the world in developing countries to help them get their businesses up and running. So by the end of our program, the Born to Coach Training Academy, you're going to be qualified to apply for your ACC or PCC credential through the International Coaching Federation. You're going to feel confident to coach anyone around any type of topic or problem. We want you to be charging a minimum around $3,000 to $5,000 per person for your coaching programs. And you're always welcome to charge less or more, but I think this is a good goal to shoot for. You're going to know how to create consistent paying clients each month. And so you're going to walk away knowing for the rest of your life of how to make your own money through your coaching skill set. You're going to have the opportunity to get hired for other companies as a professional coach. So they are going to want, if you want to be a coach for another company, they're going to want to know that you graduated from an ICF accredited program and that you have ICF credentials. So that's just going to, your ICF credentials are going to open up so many more opportunities for you. You're going to have a brand new career that honors your life purpose and higher calling and allows you to get paid to share this with others, which I think there's no other better feeling in life than that. And like we said, you're going to make lifelong coaching friends from all over the world in this program. So we have 2 semesters. The first semester, we're going to teach you how to become a transformational coach and how to, we're going to teach you all about the International Coaching Federation's methodology, their ethical practices, their core competencies, and how to apply that to your coaching practice, so you know how to run a full coaching session start to finish. You know what you're saying, you know what you're asking, you know why you're doing what you're doing. And trust me, the way we teach you how to coach, it's going to be so life-changing for your clients that they're going to want to keep hiring you, that they're going to be telling other people all about your coaching. And yeah, it's going to truly turn you into becoming a transformational coach. Okay, and then semester 2 is about building a successful coaching business. So just because you know how to coach doesn't mean that you're going to be able to find clients and make money. So a lot of coach training programs don't offer this part. They just teach you the coaching skills and that's it. But I want to make sure that you really know how to put together a great coaching offer. You know how to confidently sell it, you know how to talk about it. We have business skills labs every weekend where you get to practice running sales calls and saying your price out loud and getting really confident around that. You get a lot of feedback from me to make sure that you know how you're really selling in this pure, authentic way that's not coming off as like slimy or uh, like used car salesman tactics that just are so out of date and don't work. But yeah, and I love this quote by Mark Cuban from Shark Tank. I've really gotten to Shark Tank lately, and he said, "The greatest competitive advantage is knowledge." Okay, and then these are all the things that are included in our coach training program. So every week you're going to be meeting live with me and the other students on Zoom, where I'm going to be answering your questions and doing some coaching and helping you to get through any tough situations that are coming up when you're starting to coach new clients. You're going to do 10 mentoring hours where we listen to recorded coaching calls that have passed at the PCC level. So that way you can hear real professional coaching in action. You're going to get 6 of your coaching calls observed by one of our trainers. So that way you can if you have any bad coaching habits develop, we can quickly reverse and fix those, and that you feel confident about the way that you're coaching. You get video modules as well, where I'm going to be teaching you every week, step by step, how to implement the ICF core competencies into your coaching, and then also, how to start building your life coaching business from scratch. You're going to get paired with another coach in our program. And every week you guys are going to get to practice coaching each other, so you get more confident in your coaching. This is one of my favorite parts. You get to work with your own personal life coach in our program. So that way you can really experience and feel and understand what it's like to receive life coaching. So that way, when you go out there and you ask people to hire you, you can talk about your own life-changing story of how coaching has really helped to change your own life. We're going to help you to get ready to take your ICF exam, which is what you'll take to get your ICF credentials. Oops, I repeated that twice there. We have our private student chat, so that way you can get support from me and the other students in between classes as well. We have an alumni program in place, so that way you can have support after graduation as well. We have a life coach starter kit where I have all of my documents and forms that I use my own life to run my own life coaching business in there, that so you can access that and that you don't have to figure those things out on your own. And then you get lifetime access to all the training material. And then at the end, you'll have 146 coach training hours that will qualify you to get your ICF credentials. And then we do also have 3 amazing bonuses as well. The first bonus is we have this luxurious spiritual retreat in Sedona, Arizona, where you get to hang out with me and all the other students in your class in person. The next one coming up is the last weekend of March 2025. So my students always say this is the most favorite part of the Born to Coach Training Academy. And we do hiking, we do meditation, we do a cacao ceremony, we do breath work, we do yoga, and lots of personal development workshops. And then you also get an attorney-approved coaching contract that you can use with your clients. So that way you know that you're setting your business up in a safe and secure and legally protected way. And that, you're not missing any gaps there. And it's just nice knowing that you're running your business in a way that's going to be, legally secure. And then you also get a personalized birth chart reading from our astrology coaches. I work with these astrology coaches every month to help me to run my business. It's such a great life hack. I think everybody should learn how to use astrology to help them in that way. And in this birth chart reading, it will tell you different things of like, who is your niche and what's going to be the best way for you to make money in your coaching business, and what's going to be maybe the biggest obstacles that pop up that you're going to have to learn how to navigate. And it's literally like having a crystal ball in front of you that you shake, and it gives you all the answers that you need to run a successful coaching business. Okay, and we were at the end here, so I just wanted to show you, this is proof of when I was a nurse, I thought that I was never going to be able to make as much money as I did as a nurse. And that's what kept me stuck as a nurse for so long, even though I was feeling this calling to become a life coach. And now I'm consistently making, anywhere between $15,000 to $25,000 a month from doing something that I absolutely love. And then I also have a digital course as well. And I have passive income coming in. So I'll wake up and I get notifications all the time. My email, you've had 5 people purchase your digital course. And it's just, I just never thought that any of this would be possible. But I want to let you guys know that it is. And I want to help you to get there. I want to help you to answer your calling this year. I want to teach you how to become a really great life coach. And then I want to teach you how to get paid really well for your gifts and your passions. So that way you don't have to be stuck inside a miserable day job anymore that is not aligned with your higher mission and calling. Okay, so next steps from here is if you are just I'm ready to go, I truly feel that Krista is my coach trainer, this is the right program, this is the right time, you can go onto our website at borntocoach.org and you can go ahead and get signed up and enroll today. Or if you still have a couple more questions and about some personal stuff or about the program, you want to talk to me first, you can book a decision-making call here. Both of these links are below the video. All right, guys, thank you so much for finding me today and watching this video. I hope that you found it helpful. I so believe in you. I so believe that you're meant to become a life coach. If you're watching this, I believe that our paths cross for a reason. And I would love to have you join us inside the Born to Coach Training Academy this year to help you become a certified coach, get those ICF credentials, and go out there and start making money as a professional life coach. All right, I will see you guys in the next video.